All right, guys, just wanted to introduce you to a brand new farm. This is called My BUSD Farm. Team behind this, I believe they had another contract that is still running called My BNB Farm. But this one here, you can see it just launched and there's already 92,000 plus BUSD in it. It's a little bit different because there are lots of different anti-whale features that they implemented into the contract. There's different sorts of taxes. Now, that being said, all of this is so that it'll run longer. That's their goal, so that it'll be more sustainable. And obviously, the more longer it runs, the more you'll be able to interact with the contract. So let's just jump right into it, guys. Of course, everything I talk about on my channel is risky, so this is no different. Manage your risk, guys. Do your own research. If you're afraid of risk, if you can't stomach risk, then don't get into any of these contracts. Even the ones that have anti-whale features, it's all risky stuff. So if you do decide to get in, only put in risk capital. So yeah, you can see here the UI is pretty detailed. Lots of info here. Somebody, I don't know if it's somebody on their dev team or someone, but they did message me over on Telegram, and so I took that message because it had different bullet features. And just kind of copy and pasted it over here on this document so I can enlarge it so we can cover it. But there's 4 different plans. Let me go back here. As you can see, there's 4 different plans. Now these plans right here, I believe you do need to have a deposit in plan 1 and 2, or plan 1 or 2. So plan 1, there's a 7% for 30 days. Now, again, that's the gross percentage. If you factor in the different fees, taxes, then this is what you're going to get, right? About 157% ROI after 30 days. Plan 2 is 5% for 50 days, but if you factor in the different taxes and fees, it should be about 187% ROI after 50 days. And again, to get into the VIP Hustler and the VIP Baller, which pays out different percentages here, you do need to have at least 750 deposited in either plan 1 or 2. So usually I put in at least $1,000 into these contracts, but it looks like I'm only going to be able to put in 750. And then if I want to get into this one here, I do need to get into this one to get into some of these other contracts. So let's do that, and then we'll cover the bullet points, okay? So here I'm going to put 750. Okay, and while that's going, we'll go ahead and cover these bullet points. So again, there's 4 different plans. You can check this out yourself, run some of these numbers, crunch some of these numbers with the calculator. But I want to kind of fast forward into the different fees and the anti-whale components that this has. Now, again, even though this has fees and whatnot, the advantage of that, because some of you guys might get turned off by that and say, man, there's so many different fees. The idea behind it is these fees will help this contract run longer, right? Let me give you an example. You look at something like Drip, and this is not Drip, by the way. This is a totally different contract, totally different model, right? But Drip has every transaction you do on that platform, there's going to be fees. There's taxes. When you put in, when you take out, anything you do, there's going to be some form of tax. And that's what makes it run longer, right? I'm not saying that's bad or good. It just is what it is. So when you have something that has fees and taxes and things of that nature, yes, you might look at it and say, well, there's a lot of different taxes and fees, but the beauty of it, or the advantage of it, is the contract does run longer. It doesn't drain like the typical ROI contract. Make sense? So this one here, there's a 10% fee, and we'll cover some of these bullet points and then go back into the contract and kind of read the fine print. There's a 10% fee when you deposit, 9% for the project wallet, 1% for the charity wallet. There's also a 25% fee on withdrawals and redeposits. 20% will be kept in the contract. 5% will go to the marketing wallet. There isn't much of a referral plan. As you can see, it's a 1 level, 5%. Usually there's at least 3 or 4 levels. with some of these contracts. So that's, again, going to help the contract sustain a little bit longer, I think. And then here are the anti-whale features. There's a 48-hour cutoff time. You have to either redeposit or withdraw within the cutoff period. Otherwise, the rewards will stop. So we've seen that before with a couple of these other contracts, and that's to keep the contract balance honest, right? So we can see what exactly is in the contract balance, and that way you could determine whether or not you want to get in or not. So again, it keeps the contract balance honest. There's also a withdrawal limit. Users can only withdraw a maximum amount of $15,000. I mean, that's a pretty big limit. So I don't think that's going to be a major concern for most people. Excess dividends are sent back to the user's account available for the next withdrawal. I believe the withdrawals are, you can only withdraw, once every 48 hours. Okay. Here are the other plans. VIP plan, the Plan 3 VIP Hustler. Users are required to have a total deposit of $750 in the normal plan before they can invest into the VIP plan. So again, it forces people to go into multiple plans, right? So depositing more into the contract. Plan 4 is the VIP baller. Users are required to have a total deposit of at least $1,500 in the normal plan before they can invest into the VIP plan. Minimum investment for that VIP baller is $3,000. And then there's a couple of project features here. There's a reinvest button. Users can now reinvest without withdrawing their earnings. When they use the reinvest button, it resets the plan and it's counted as a new investment. Contract is compiled using the latest compiler version. And it's the first farm project to have dynamic setters. Parameters can be changed for events, promotions, to keep the project running and sustainable. So again, I believe it gives the dev team the flexibility to, tweak things, customize things. Again, it all depends on your perspective, whether you think that's good or bad. But if you're someone who is thinking about, being in something and having it run longer than the typical ROI contract, all of this has to be put in place, right? Statistic counters, total number of investors, reinvestors in the project, total amount of investments reinvested in the project, total number of investors, reinvestors per plan, and also the total amount of investments and reinvestments per plan. So you can see all these statistics there. It's all going to be there. Now, okay, so that went through. So here's just the fine print here, 10% deposit fee. Now I talked about the 10% deposit fee, but here's the breakdown. 10% deposit fee is paid to the project marketing wallet, but this fee is not paid by you as a user. This fee is paid by the contract as a whole. Your deposit will get to the plan 1 for 1. Okay, so that's good. A 5% withdrawal redeposit fee is paid to the project marketing wallet. This fee is also paid by the contract as a whole, so it's not paid by you. 20% of every withdrawal will stay in the contract to allow longevity. This is not a tax that is used for marketing. It simply avoids the fast drain of the contract and solidifies the pool for withdrawals for all investors, not just early investors. The displayed amount on the My BUSD farm are after tax. You will get what you see. The ROI value of each plan is accurate, right? So this right here, as I mentioned. And again, we are using these fees to pay marketing, developers, and all of the needs of the project because marketing costs money. Developers need to get paid. Nothing wrong with that. So we'll see how this pans out. I did put a deposit right there. I'm going to watch it. Beauty of these contracts is you don't have to jump in at the very, very second it launches like a miner. This one, you have the luxury to kind of sit back a little bit. And I was able to kind of sit back and watch the contract grow to determine whether or not I wanted to jump in or not. So again, just put in a deposit. We're going to watch this thing and then, maybe upgrade to the VIP. What's it called? The baller, the hustler, or the baller. Okay, so you see now it's highlighted. Now I can get into this one because I put a deposit into plan 2. So just wanted to introduce this to you, give you some features. If you want to check this out, I will leave a link down below. Of course, do your own research, do your own due diligence. And again, as always, risk capital only. Follow me on Telegram, subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.